clueless what bait is working at Bear Lake right now, then there's a very simple way and a very good bait combination you can keep testing again and again to find out which flavors the fish actually want right now. If you look for soluble in the tackle shop, you'll find a wide variety of different baits, all of them soluble, meaning dissolving baits, and even in two versions, one in size 15, 16, and one in size 20. These two versions can be tested perfectly to figure out what the fish really want at the spot you're currently standing at. And the good thing is, at Bear Lake, there are basically only 3 important spots. How to fish those spots and where exactly they are is already explained here in the tutorial for starting out as a carp angler. So, a super essential video on how to even begin with carp fishing, how you build your setup, what you need, and which spots here at Bear Lake are so essential. The huge advantage of these soluble baits is that, like I said, they dissolve. That means even without any ground bait mix, you can usually already achieve quite good results with these baits. Right now, I'm testing the smaller size 16 ones to first get feedback on what flavors the fish want. So start with small hooks and of course small baits, and then just see what the fish want. I just had the first small common carp here on halibut with halibut berry soluble, and here I just had the second bite. So second reaction right now, again with a soluble combination. And all these soluble baits, there really aren't that many, but they're all worth buying and testing to figure out what the fish want right now. I'll gladly take grass carp as well, especially at that size, they're worth it. So cast out again quickly, as always, at this spot on 17 meters line clip, and here we go again on the next rod. This here is the third flavor. So all 3 baits here are delivering fishy aroma right now. Then I've got one fruity sweet, and here another fruity and spicy one, the spicy cherry soluble. That also works again here with spicy pepper as bait. So now we already have 3 flavors that theoretically work, and we continue with that. That means expanding the entire setup on all 3 rods so we can target the fish even better. And accordingly, we can of course also prepare a ground bait mix. Here as well, it's worth using soluble boilies. If we take for example the spicy cherry, we use 16 millimeter spicy cherry soluble, crush the whole thing, and use exactly the same bait we have on the hook in our ground bait. At the moment, however, I'm not using any ground bait yet, because I still want to test the other soluble baits. Which one of these works best? That's what I want to find out first. 3 fish are obviously not enough for a meaningful result, so I'll wait a bit longer. Maybe even the barbel will go for these fishy flavors. That would also be interesting. Then you'd have a good option for barbel, or it works really well with grass carp. So for now, I'll just wait a bit and see which bait combination is best. The entire setup here is relatively basic, simply with the classic hair rig. At the rig you unlock first in bottom fishing for carp with boilies. With this rig, I'm fishing relatively small here, just with a size 1 hook, and in this case halibut berry soluble, plus a size 14 halibut boilie and spicy halibut as a dip. The other setup is built with peach, milky peach, spicy peach, and spicy peach again as a dip. And the third setup, as already mentioned, is with spicy cherry in combination with spicy pepper and wild cherry, so completely in the cherry direction with these additional spicy flavors. The smallest result so far was a small common carp on the halibut combination, which means that's the weakest result. I'll remove that first and replace it right away. That means I just search in the inventory again for soluble baits, and now I have the option, for example, to use honey pear or crab and mussel. Crab and mussel works quite well again and again for barbel or salmon and herbs, very classic. What also works quite well is, for example, cream. In this case, however, I'll use tuna and pepper again because the spicy note already worked with the cherry, and with tuna, there are surely more versions. So here we have something different again, tuna combination. Then we'll also take tuna oil as a dip, and just like that, cast it out again at 17 meters, let it sink, and continue testing with it. With the spicy peach, I'm now replacing the second boilie. I already have spicy peach as dip and as soluble boilie, so I'll add a size 16 spice boilie here and try again to see if that works better than the milky peach. And that's how you test step by step, trying different combinations and using the base of soluble boilies to keep testing new setups. And as long as you haven't found a proper combination that works really well, you actually don't need to use ground bait yet because you influence the spot with it. There's also a separate video about spots and how they are influenced by feed, what a spot actually is, and how we as anglers affect it. In this short time, I've now already changed all baits multiple times. Don't wait too long for a reaction. Don't stand around forever hoping and praying for a bite. Testing bait means switching quickly and checking what works. It's now 10 in the morning, and since the early hours, I've already tested 9 different flavors. The baits haven't even been in the water for 60 seconds, and immediately I get a reaction. That's exactly what I want, a fast response, whether something works or not. If nothing works, you don't need to wait forever. Change something immediately. That's especially essential in these 2 phases, at the beginning and at the end of the day. In those phases, the fish have to come in. If you test at midday, it can take much longer for a bite. Same at night, but you get very good feedback. If a bait works even at night or midday, it will work excellently during those peak phases at the start and end of the day. And here we go, another feedback on cream. Right now in use, sweet cream soluble with coconut cream and cream, that's reacting as well. Tutti Frutti still isn't reacting, and again another reaction immediately within a short time. Like mentioned before, the honey pear combination. Honey pear soluble with sweet pear 15 and honey again as a dip. So that seems to work really well. 2 fish shortly one after another, right after casting, immediate reaction. That's really interesting. Again, the sweet and fatty note of sweet cream works very well here. Quickly cast out again. That means I can now remove the third combination in the middle, the Tutti Frutti. Again, no reaction. So now I'll also go in the sweet direction here. You could, for example, combine sweet cream soluble with honey pear soluble. Let's just try it out. Just play around a bit. We'll also combine it with wild honey here and cast it out again easily. And just test whether honey and cream together also work. That's how you experiment with different boilies here. Of course, this only works really well if you have a large selection of baits. At the beginning, you obviously don't have that. That's clear. But if you've progressed a bit in bottom fishing and maybe unlocked pop-up corn, you can do these experiments very well with that too. They're much cheaper, smaller baits, and give you even faster feedback on whether a flavor works at the spot or not. All this information on how to approach carp fishing is already shown in the carp fishing playlist. And super important info, like how to analyze a spot, is also there, where all the essential basics for carp anglers are explained, or how to properly fight a fish and what to consider with the rod. So, another super essential playlist. And now it's actually continuing on all 3 flavors. Even the middle combination seems to react. So that's already a pretty good sign. Now it's just about expanding the feed mix accordingly and finding the right ground bait mix to optimize everything further. If this helped you and you liked it, leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. That makes me happy, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, tight lines.